All right, this is May 16th, Silver Bullet session, AM session from 10 to 11. I got to go over this part first so you understand what was going on over here. So at 8:30, the news embargo is lifted. That's why I have this big candles here that created the high of the day at this point. And I have that as the buy side draw on liquidity. Okay. As price came in here, it created this volume imbalance here. It's in pink. Price getting chopped down here, but I want you to show you that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 relatively equal lows exactly to the tick that stopped here. So you know those are getting ran. At some point, price came up to the volume imbalance after 9:30 equities open, the New York Open. They came down and then they stopped here. Didn't take this out. So at some point we were looking for this to be taken. So price tapped into it for the 6th time and then aggressively shot up, taking out this high, a swing high, this swing high, not taking out the draw on liquidity, stopping short. So a lot of people saw this as a breakaway gap, and something to trade into. Me, I didn't really like it because I like these relatively equal lows down here. So I was actually bearish in my view of the day. So this was, I like to let the first half hour play out anyway, and I'm more of an ICT Silver Bullet trader anyway. So it created this fair value gap. It just came in here. It just shot through this volume imbalance. So it shot through one. We got to see if it's going to be respected. It should be support. It was. It came back. It shot through this volume imbalance. Shot through this fair value gap. Shot through this fair value gap. Shot through this volume imbalance. I mean, it just tanked. So now you're thinking, okay, it's going short. It took out this sell side here, which was short-term low cleared. It took out this one, which is swing low. So it took that out, and that created this breaker right here. Okay, this is the purple box. And technically, the breaker is these 3 candles. Okay, there's your breaker. 10 o'clock is the darker gray. That's the start of the Silver Bullet hour. So where do we start? When we're right here, we're starting just taking out a swing low. So, do you think you're going up or down? Well, for me, I got to see if this breaker is going to be respected or not. And then likewise, are these fair value gaps that are within this breaker, how are all 3 of these PD arrays going to be respected? If it's going to blow right through it, then I'm going to take a trade off them at support and go up and attack this buy side. Okay, so I'm waiting for price action to tell me. And right now, it came up right here. It came up. Wick did the damage. It hasn't closed above. It's in the consequent encroachment of the breaker. Basically in the middle. It's in the middle of this fair value gap. It's actually, this would be an inversion fair value gap. And so would this one. So it came up to the middle of that. The candle wick stopped here. When it stopped and the other one opened, it came up, and as they're passing through, you take your trade. Your stop is above this this fair value gap up here. I do it even with this one, and then 2-to-1 ratio, and that takes you down to the next new week opening gap here, which are these 2 purple dotted lines. ICT came out with a video this week, or actually last week or weekend, about where your target should be. New week opening gap is one of them, so that's where that target is. Plays out perfectly. Could you get 10 handles? Yes, you can. He said don't take one unless you have 10 that you can get. You're only shooting for 5. There you go. He says you should be at 3 for 5. What he said. That's your trade right there. Could you get 10? Yes. Okay, done. So what if you missed this? Where could you have gotten another trade? Well, also plays into the 22 model. You have a break of structure here. Aggressive move down. Okay, it took out short-term low here. So there's another 2. Where's the displacement move? Right here. It's all from here to here. Big fair value gap. What's inside that? A breaker and 2 inversion fair value gaps. All this roadblock that's going to be to stop price. Goes to halfway, it stops there, it's struggling, down, taking my trade. All that confluence is sending it lower. Okay, so then this takes out another short-term low. right here. Short-term low cleared. Okay, count them up. There's your swing high. Short-term low. Break of structure here. Thinking, okay, awesome. Another. Now it's market structure shift right there. There's your second break of structure here. With displacement, short-term high cleared. Has displacement. There is a fair value gap here. You could take this trade. Where can you go? Okay, so where would you take it? Can you see 10 handles on this? Well, if you were thinking this is the next short-term high, you got 15 handles here. 10's right here, which is the open of the 830 open right there. So it's close. It could have been past these new weak opening gaps, would have struggled, which is where they kind of stop at here. So could you see 10? Yeah, you could. Could you get 15? You could. But you definitely got 5. It's 5, okay? So that was your second one. This is another YouTube model. Higher time frame breaking that did. You get displacement move? Yes. Do you have any fair value gap here? No. So you do the next one. Is there a displacement move? Yes. Breaks short-term high? Yes. Do you have displacement? Yes. And do you have a fair value gap? Yes. Look at that right here. There's your trade. Take it, another 5 handles. Okay. Not really interested in any of this. This does break this low. So let's just see if this has another one. It just doesn't meet the rules that I like, but it does technically meet the criteria. Here's some short-term lows. So that was cleared there. Short-term low cleared. Then you have technically right here a short-term high cleared. I don't really like it. I don't like these ones. These ones were really clear. I know that ICT had one on his thing. He's like, for me, this is a short-term high. I'd clear it. I'd take the trade. I'm not a huge fan of it, personally, but let's just see if this is actually going to work or not. Let's just move this one over. Let's move this up to 5. Let's just see if you would have taken a trade. See at the top of here, you wouldn't have. But if you took it to the middle of the thing, you would have gotten it. Okay, so there's could have been your next trade setup right here. Is your trade setup? So it would have been here. So there's your 5 and your 1. You wouldn't have taken a 3. You wouldn't have had it down here. You probably done up here 2.5, whatever. It's where your trade. So there's your third trade today. So you had 1 here. There's your 3 trades. You had 1 here. You had 1 here, and you had 1 here. All following the 2022 mentorship model. A higher time frame break of structure. Clears a short-term low. Where's the displacement? Do you have a fair value gap? Yes. Here you have multiple. Clear a short-term low or a higher time frame low? Yes. Do you clear a short-term high? Yes. Is it change? So that's a market structure shift. Do you have displacement? Yes. Do you trade back into it? Yes. Can you get 5 handles? Yes. Short-term low cleared. Higher time frame low cleared rather. Do you clear a short-term high? Yes. Do you have displacement? Yes. Fair value gap right here. Do you trade into it? Yes. You get 5 handles? Yes. All in the ICT Silver Bullet hour, 10 a.m. on May 16th.